Hello, I'm Brian Mallard, and welcome to this edition of Minstrels on the Block. Last week we had Mr. John Phillips on the show, and this week we've got special guest Gini Woolfolk. So, Gini Woolfolk, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fine, Brian. How are you?
I'm doing fine. So, tell me about your music.
My music is, I do a lot of original songs that I've written. I mostly play guitar. I've started playing bass with the band, the Phenix City Ramblers. So I've kind of got these two projects going on at the same time. And my music that I've written is very folky, kind of country influenced, and usually dealing with some everyday things, feelings, relationships. There's a couple that are a little bit out there that have some fictional qualities to them. And really it's just, I write about what comes to me at the time. Mm-hmm. So, hopefully whoever's listening can go out and listen to some of it. And
cool.
I'm going to play some of it later.
So how long have you been playing music?
I started playing guitar really when I was in middle school. And I started off, my dad taught me just a couple of things and went with that and taught myself the rest and how to play chords and that sort of thing. I have a background in classical training, and I've gone to school for classical music. But as far as the singer-songwriter playing with the guitar folk thing, that's really kind of blossomed in the past 2 or 3 years since I moved back to Columbus, and so this is all a little bit kind of new to me. I always wrote songs growing up and that sort of thing, but as far as really getting out and playing them for people and getting other people to collaborate with me, it's been very recent in the past couple of years.
Yeah. So tell us about your training, your classical training.
Well, I started off in public schools doing chorus and taking piano lessons and that sort of thing. I went off to college at Florida State and got a degree in music education. Wow. I taught music for a few years and decided that was not the right thing to do for me at the time, and went about finding another job to do. And I've kept music on my plate as a fun activity for me to do instead of some kind of really stressful job situation. And I've enjoyed it a lot more that way, and I have a lot of freedom that way to do whatever I want to do.
So as a hobby, you find that you don't have the pressures of having to mess with music to where you can actually do it as an enjoyable pastime, which is cool.
I set my own limits and my own expectations for myself, and basically have fun with it.
Well, that's cool. Now you play with Dan Davidson. You've played with different people. Who all have you played with?
Really just about anybody and everybody. I played with you. I learned to play bass playing with Brian, and pretty much at open mics. I've played with Dan, John Phillips, and Dan Davidson, and and we all comprise the Shady Branches, which is my band project. And we will be at Fountain City Coffee on February 25th in Columbus downtown. Right now I'm also playing bass with Dan's band, the Phenix City Ramblers, which is Brian Fowler, John Wyatt, and other guests that are coming in to play with us as well. At one time I was playing with Henry Conley and his brother Doug and John. Just anybody and everybody Sean Rocks I've done some projects with, and so there's probably people that I have left off. Rick Edwards, I've done some things. Hopefully you can get him on here at some time.
Yes, we're definitely planning on that.
So really just anybody that's been around the Columbus Phenix City music scene, I try to jump up and do something with. Yeah. So.
Well, that's cool. Now, tell me about your projects as far as, like, I know you have your own album, and you did backups on Sean Rock's album. So, like, what albums have you guest appeared on?
I believe that's it. Yeah, I spent about a year working on my album project. I'm very happy to have it now, and have enjoyed being able to have a product to give to people when they want that at shows. And as far as Sean's, and there's been a couple of random just single song recordings for people that I've put things on. BJ Holland and John Phillips, I've done some things. I've put some things on some of your songs, and Will Dockery I've done some recordings for, and so pretty much I like to contribute. I like the collaboration.
Well, you certainly do a wonderful job. She's done some stunning stuff on people's songs I have heard. So let's go to one of Gini's songs right now.
I'm Gini Woolfolk, and this is a song I co-wrote with Dan Davidson. It's on my album In the Springtime that you can find at cdbaby.com/cd/Gini Woolfolk. This is called The Water's Edge. This good earth became my home, naked and unashamed, lying in my mama's arms. When I was a young girl, I remember playing on the banks of that old river, and now it's down to the water's edge, down to the water's edge again. Crazy days have come and gone since I set off down the road, looking for adventure and a story to